Hello, it's Leona Greenlow-Turner, Keller Williams Realty. Today's topic for our new agents is why follow up. We kind of touched on it on the last podcast, but I really want to talk about lead follow-up. Why are we calling these people back? It's interesting that some of the big names, and I'm a big Mike Ferry follower, I have been for years and years and years, and the more you listen to Mike Ferry, the more you want to throw a shoe at the TV. But he's right? We're not doing, as agents, we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing, right? We're supposed to be lead generating. So I talked extensively about lead generation last time, but let's talk about now follow-up, right? There's got to be time on your calendar, time blocked, to follow up with those leads, right? Whether it's open house leads, somebody that you contacted from your list of people, for sale by owners, expireds, referrals, right? Any of those people, if you got a referral today from a very good friend of yours, whether you sold them a property or not, but they've seen you out there, they've seen you working, they've seen you selling, or they've seen you starting your business, and they say, I'm going to give him or her a shot, so I'm going to give them a referral. Now, how many of you wouldn't call that referral back? I'll wait. Most of us would, right? Most of us would call the referral back as soon as possible. Like as soon as we could get to a phone or get to a place where we could talk on the phone, we would definitely call that referral. Some people won't, right? Some people are scared. Somebody will sit on that referral for who knows how long, right? Just terrified. I've done it when I started out in my business. I've done it. I've sat on a referral, just scared to death, right? We can't wait on the referrals to call us, right? We're going to have to call them. When you make those calls and they don't answer, what are you going to do? Now, there's two schools of thought that I've heard, right? The one is don't leave a message, just hang up. Okay? I normally leave a message. And the reason I do that, what if they were in a meeting? What if they were indisposed? What if they were out of phone range and just didn't hear the phone? You just never know. And I've had more people call back from a voicemail message or a missed call message or whatever. Sorry, I missed you calling because Lynette gave me your information and you wanted to buy a house. Let's talk. Whatever the message is, make sure you leave a message. I know some people don't when you're making strings of calls, when you're doing your lead generation. Sometimes you just don't want to. Always leave a message, right? So now you have something to reference in the follow-up. That's what I'm thinking. So you didn't get to them today. Tomorrow, when you lead generate new people, when you have your time block for follow-up, hey, I called you yesterday, just checking in. You might get them to answer the phone this time. They might not be busy. And they say, oh, yeah, I got your message yesterday. I couldn't get back to you because I had this, and that going. But I do want to talk to you. This is what I'm looking for. And now you start the conversation, right? In my personal professional opinion, leave a message when you're doing your follow-up. If you can't get to them, and then maybe text them. If they're a new person, right, you didn't get them on the phone. Some people aren't phone people. Some people are text people, right? They're always on their phone, but they're not usually talking on the phone. So leave them a text, right? I have a lead source that I buy leads from in addition to my for sale by owners and expireds that I call, but I do have a lead source that I buy and I call them, and sometimes I don't get them on the first try for whatever reason. Sometimes I get them on the second try. Sometimes I get them on the third try. And I leave, success leaves clues is what it says. So I track, okay, I've talked to them this day. I've talked to them this day. I've talked to them this day. And maybe the fourth time, I've been getting your messages. I haven't had a chance to call you back, but I do want to, I want to talk to you about buying or selling my home, or I have to sell my home in order to buy, whatever the scenario is, right? But the key to follow up is 5 times. You've got to follow up 5 times. If you're not following up 5 times, you may lose that person to an agent that's a little bit more tenacious, right? Don't be scared. If they registered, especially in my case, if they registered online, they're indicating that they want to buy or sell, or buy and sell. So they're interested. Now, your sales and negotiation skills are going to lead them to whether you get that buyer broker agreement signed or that listing agreement signed, whatever the case may be. So my advice to you is to follow up. That's the first thing. Second thing is block time in your schedule to follow up. Whether you have to write it on your calendar to say, okay, I'm going to follow up with this person in 2 days. Sometimes they'll say, can you call me back? How many of those calls? Well, I'm busy right now. Can you call me back at 6 o'clock? And you completely forget, right? You call them the next day at the same time. I'm still busy. I'm at work. Can you call me at 6 o'clock, right? Be diligent. Find out what is working for your customer that you're trying, or client that you're trying to reach. Work within their schedule, right? We're in a service business. We can't have everybody mesh into our schedule. It's just not possible, right? So if you're a new agent, sometimes you're going to have to sacrifice those evenings, right, in order to get the contract signed, as it were. Sometimes you're going to have to sacrifice those weekends in order to get the contract signed. Door knocking, you're going to have to sacrifice that time in the heat or the cold, depending on the time of the year, to get those leads. You have to get the leads. You have to lead. We're still going back to the first podcast, right? You're going to have to lead generate. I don't care what happens. That's how you stay in business. There are the people that get tons of referrals. That's great. What if you're in vacation mode, right? And now it's the holidays. Right now it's November 16th, 2017. So we're getting into holiday mode. We're going to have more people traveling. We're going to have more people out of town. We're going to have more people off work. All of these types of things play a factor. And that's great for us if we had a whole pipeline of people that we've been working with all year and now we're just resting on our laurels. We have enough money in the bank and everything's gravy. But for those of us that don't, and for those sellers and buyers that still need to make a move, what's going to happen to those people, right? That tenacious agent that's making those calls, that's following up on those calls, are going to get that business. So they'll be skating into January 2018 with a whole bank account full of money while we're still ramping up January 2nd, right? And in some cases, we've partied too much on the 1st, so that might be January 5th, right? So we need to get serious about our business. I'm not saying work every single day, 24 hours a day. If you're that busy, then it's probably time to get an assistant or a buyer's agent or a listing agent or whatever it is that you need. But for those of you that are just starting out in this business, lead generate. The money is going to be made in the follow-up. How tenacious are you? And I know for a fact for sell-by owners are not going to talk to you sometimes until you're the fifth time that you called, because they want to see how tenacious you are. They want to see how eager, how hungry you are. That's how you're going to be with them selling their home. Anyway, why follow up? Because it makes you money. Why follow up? Because it keeps you in business. Why follow up? Because most agents aren't. All right, thank you so much. This is Leona Greenlow-Turner, Keller Williams Realty. Talk to you soon.